Spirit, what messages do we have for the collective, please? Seven of Wands, Leo energy at the foundation of the reading. Okay, so leading up to the reading, I was channeling this visual of all of you walking across this bridge. And the bridge was separating this old cycle that a lot of you have been transitioning on from for the past few months. And on the other side of the bridge is the new cycle. But it takes a little while to get across this bridge. And I've been picking up this energy in and around the collective of distraction. There's people that are trying to push back against the decisions you have made. Not making, but have made. And they're trying to trigger some sort of reaction out of you that sees you self-sabotaging your own new beginning. Now, the Seven of Wands here is a perfect representation of exactly what I was picking up before I even began the reading, because this is you standing up for what you believe in. This is you standing up for the fact that you're going to cross that bridge come hell or high water. Nothing is going to stop you. So the message right now, as we are transitioning between these two realms, so to speak, is to remain very focused. Stand up for what you believe and don't allow these energies to trigger a reaction out of you that would cause you to self-sabotage what you have been working so hard to bring into your reality. The Seven of Wands is right there at the foundation of the reading, the root chakra, rather, of the reading. So this is about your stability. This is about the rest of your life. And this is a path that no one else you know has been down. And see, that's a big part of all of this. Right? People are trying to get you to second guess or to give up on something that they themselves have never experienced, which says more about them than it does about you. There's an energy here where people don't want to witness you achieving something that they have never even gotten close to. What do we have? The sacral, please, Spirit? Wow. The star card, Aquarius energy at the sacral. This is what's on the other side of that bridge. This is your vision realized, whatever that means for you. This is what you have been fighting so hard for. This is what all of these other energies didn't want you to experience. And that star card is right there at the sacral, which is all connected to your passion, your creativity. This vision, this fire in your belly is what's waiting for you on the other side. So as you're making your way through the wilderness, through this in-between, so to speak, you need to keep this vision in your mind. That right there is all you need to be focused on right now. Getting to your destination. The star card here is further emphasizing that you are standing up for something you believe in because it gives you hope and it fulfills a certain kind of excitement for life that nothing else really can. This is what makes you feel alive. And life is far too short not to be focused on the things that make you feel alive. But yet there's still energies out there that feel the need to drag you down. Nobody else is going to believe in you the way you believe in yourself. And that's just something that a lot of you are going to have to come to terms with in regards to this vision. You know, they say that a lot of the times when we're going through these awakenings in our life, these level ups, these elevations, that things will start falling apart in our surroundings. Things that are trying to trigger us to make the necessary changes to align with this star card energy. And I feel that's exactly what a lot of you are experiencing right now. There's a breaking down in your environment. Some of you could be feeling like the universe is against you or that things aren't going your way when it's actually the complete opposite. The universe has your back. The universe is doing what the universe does to get you to this star card energy. See, a lot of what can't go with you to this new beginning is what the universe is exposing to you in your environment. The mindsets, the behavioral patterns, and of course, the people are always going to be the first things that the universe brings to your awareness because these are things that you have full control over. You can decide what mindset you arm yourself with. You can decide what behavioral patterns suit you and do not suit you in accordance with this vision. And you can certainly decide who is and who isn't in your life moving forward. So you need to remember that people can only give you what they are and how far they've elevated in their own life, which is telling me that you've outgrown your environment. People don't know how to support you in this new realm that you're stepping into. But they're taking it one step further here because they're not leaving you to figure things out on your own. They're actually coming against you with the Seven of Wands. This is pushback. This feels communal. This is you having to defend your position because you have a hope and a vision and a dream for your life and doesn't align with what these other people think for you in their own life. And right on the bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords here is asking you to decide if you're going to keep moving forward and cross over into this realm where the star card energy is, or if you're going to allow these energies to trigger you into self-sabotaging your own new beginning. And all this really comes down to, I feel at this point, is engaging with these energies, right? Even though the Seven of Wands here is engaging in what looks to be some sort of battle, it's more energetic in the sense that you're standing up for what you believe, but I don't necessarily feel like this is something that you need to try and convince other people of. It just is what it is. You're holding your ground, and that's all there is to it. What do we have the solar plexus, please? The Fool, card 0 at the solar plexus. So there's the new beginning. The Hangman, Pisces energy at the heart. So all of this is following what we're saying. Because again, the Fool is all about this new beginning. This is you being confident enough in yourself to see something through here, to keep crossing over into that new realm. And, there's an energy here for some of you that feels sudden, which is why the Seven of Wands could be popping up at the foundation of the reading. It's like you deciding on a moment's notice that you need to go do something, you need to start something, that it's time, right? Even though you may have been planning this for a really long time, all of a sudden you just get up and you're charging towards this Fool energy, right? The Fool card shows an individual who seemingly just grabbed the bare necessities and took off somewhere, right? They're taking a leap of faith into the unknown. But given the fact that it's at the solar plexus, you have enough confidence to actually know that this is going to come to pass for you. You just feel it in your bones. And then the Hangman at the heart position is an energy of seeing something from a higher perspective. It's also an energy of letting go, right? So I feel that right now the universe is trying to show you through these people's reactions that they're not for you or they're not supporting this vision. And that in order to actually bring this thing to full realization, you're going to need to let go of these Seven of Wands energies. And given the fact that the Hangman is right there at the heart, there's emotions attached to this. This isn't easy. It's never easy, especially when it's coming from people who by default were supposed to love you, right? I could speak about family or friends or just people that were in your community. There's something here about what you're doing. You're carving out a new path. And this is why this is such a problem to these people. But again, with the Hangman, the universe is saying, hey, these people were never really your people because look at how they're reacting to your expansion, right? If they were your people, their reaction would be completely different. They'd be in support of you. They'd be trying to do what they could in some capacity, if it was in alignment with their highest good, to maybe go with you, right? Whatever that means, or be a part of your new life, or at least let you know that they support you and that they're there for you whenever you need them. But you're not getting that here. This is a path that you are having to take on your own. And what makes this so difficult isn't necessarily the path you're taking, but what you have to overcome to step on that path, right? Again, the pushback from the people, breaking free from karmic cycles that were holding you back with these people, with these mindsets, with these behavioral patterns. This is a full elevation for you from the ground up. This is hitting multiple sectors of your life. But this is what a true awakening looks like. It exposes who's for you and who's not for you, which again is the hardest part about all of this. And I'm hearing that you've been praying for this. You've been asking for this. And now here it is, right? And I would say that 100% of the time when this shows up for an individual, it's questioned like, what? This isn't what I asked for. But the universe says, hey, it actually is, but you can't see the full trajectory of your path right now because you're in the thick of it, right? You can't see the forest for the trees, and you can't really see from this vantage point where we're trying to get you to, but this is how it starts. So you need to have faith with the Fool card. You need to trust that we got your back. Let us show you that we love you and that we want to see the best for you, and understand that sometimes, most of the time really, that sees you having to put yourself in an uncomfortable position, right? Awakening. A rebirth unfolding in your life is never going to be comfortable because it's taking you from those spaces that you once deemed as comfortable, essentially uprooting you in some capacity and placing you on a new timeline where you can then begin to get comfortable again, right? Think about it as moving house, right? Which is stressful, it's inconvenient, it's uncomfortable. You got to pack, you got to unpack, then you got to get settled in. It takes time. Well, think about that times 100. right? This is what we're talking about here. What do we have at the throat, please, Spirit? Six of Wands in reverse at the throat. Now, this Six of Wands is a perfect representation of turning around on that bridge and going back. It's an energy of giving up, okay? This is where they want you. It's like they want you to lack the confidence to follow through with this, whatever that means for you at this time. You know, a lot of you feel like everything is turning against you, or everything is trying to stop you from going down a certain path. But that's exactly how it's supposed to feel when you're going through the wilderness between the two spaces. So I'm here to give all of you encouragement to keep going, even though you may want to give up, or even though you may want to go back, or even though you're doubting yourself. What you're feeling right now is a part of the journey. And I know it's hard, but that's just it. This sort of elevation is not something that's easy, as we've already detailed. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of spiritual manpower to get you to this destination. But when you get there, it makes more sense. You start to look at these situations from a completely different perspective. Once you've removed yourself from these energetic environments, it's much easier to understand what took place. Now's the time to stay focused on the path ahead and the destination. Don't overwhelm yourself with trying to find answers to questions that can only be answered once you get to the destination. I'm also picking up something here with this Six of Wands in reverse at the throat about negative self-talk, right? I feel that a lot of you are going around in circles in your own mind about all the things that could go wrong, which is telling me there's a lack of faith there. And that's okay. We all go through it. But just catch yourself when you hear that voice unearth itself from the deep recesses of your mind. But you need to know that based on the energy I'm getting here, you have tremendous support from the universe right now. It's like this saying, if God is for us, who can be against us? That's what this is all about. No man or woman has gone down this path without self-doubt, without hesitation, without horrendous pushback. This path you're taking right now is biblical. So you need to lean on your faith. You need to stay focused and don't allow the enemy, whoever or whatever that may be for you, to seep into your mind and spread its poison. And again, right on the bottom of this deck, so this is a completely different deck, Seven of Wands, right? And see, this gives us the other perspective of the Seven of Wands. So we see all these people coming against you. What do we have at the third eye, please, Spirit? The Wheel of Fortune, Sag energy at the third eye, and the Nine of Cups, Pisces energy at the crown. Okay, so this Wheel of Fortune, it's showing us the Wheel of Fortune like you're on approach, right? You're on the other side of it. You're coming towards it. It's like this is what's on the other side of the bridge, right? And see how the devil's hanging out down there? It's like the devil there is representing all of the energies that are trying to get you to self-sabotage your own new beginning. And then we have these angels here, which are logging in the Akashic records, right? It's like they're writing down notes here about everything that's taking place right now. I just heard your history is being written within every breath that you breathe in this moment. Yeah, I'm hearing something about this timeline that you are stepping into is being constructed the closer you get to it. Now, this is a complex way of saying that you are timeline jumping and manifesting a new reality for yourself away from these energies, right? You're doing something that hasn't been done before. And then this Nine of Cups at the crown is very interesting from this deck because we have this child here, this little girl, and it looks like she's looking at these two little boys that are playing, and it's like she's kind of jealous, right? But she's also stuffing her face with cookies, and she looks a little bit chubby there, but it almost looks like she's giving off this very envious kind of greedy energy, like everything should be hers. Yeah, see, they're playing with the toys. It's almost like she's looking at the toys like those should be mine, right? Now, this is just a metaphorical representation of what you're going through with these energies, right? It's like what you're building, what you're going towards, they feel like it should be theirs. And you know, the Nine of Cups is an energy of you getting what you want. It's an energy of complete happiness and fulfillment, and it's right there at the crown. Oh, I just heard some of you are so beside yourself with what it is you're preparing to achieve that a part of you doesn't even know how to accept it. You know, I got to say, I kind of relate with what I'm picking up here for some of you, but it's like when you are actively trying to manifest something into your life and then it finally shows up and you're surrounded by that manifestation, whatever it may be for you. Sometimes a part of you has a difficult time actually accepting that you were able to bring this thing to life, right? Especially when there's certain energies you need to leave behind, right? A part of you can feel guilty for finally succeeding on the back end of having to leave other energies behind. And that just goes to show how empathetic you are, right? Because in a perfect world, you would have easily shared what it is that you're manifesting into your life had these other energies been in support of you. But for a lot of you, the fact that you have to experience this and enjoy this without all these other energies trying to come against you is bittersweet. You're happy you got there, but boy, did it come at a cost, right? This is, you know, a perfect place for that phrase. Your new life is going to cost you your old one, right? The sacrifice is the key to the new beginning. What do we have at the foundation, please? The Fool, right underneath that Seven of Wands. So we have two Fools on the table. Now, these read completely different. This is like Fool in reverse, Fool in its shadow. And the Fool in its shadow is an energy that wants you to think that you're taking a risk. It's a reckless kind of energy. So these Seven of Wands right here saying to you, hey, you can't do that. This, that, and the other is going to happen. You're not going to succeed. You're going to fall on your face. You're not prepared for that. You're foolish for going down that path. You're making a reckless decision here. And for some of you who are just now starting out on this path, you actually need to prepare yourself for this kind of pushback. Hopefully you'll hear this message, and then once you come face to face with these energies, you can go, oh yeah, I knew this was going to happen. And going back to what I said about your path being biblical, it just further confirms to us that this is how it always goes. This is a cycle that all individuals must go through when they're achieving something of this level of greatness that is in alignment with their highest good. Seven of Wands, Star card, and the Fool card, that says it all. You're standing up for something that you believe in because you know in your heart of hearts that this is the path you're supposed to be going. And nothing and no one is going to stop you from seeing this through. What do we have the Sacred, please, Spirit? Too many cards. What do we have the Sacred, please, Spirit? Seven of Cups, Scorpio energy at the sacral. A leopard cannot change their spots. And I just heard business as usual, okay? See, by default, these individuals are programmed to come against people like you who are going towards some level of greatness. It's just a part of who they are. It's the path that they chose in life. It's like they're being used as a vessel for something dark. So they're going to try and gaslight you again into sabotaging your own new beginning. You know, the Seven of Cups can be an energy that is trying to tell you that you're in a fantasy world, that this is just wishful thinking. It's an energy that wants you to think that you're just daydreaming about this. There's no way you can ever pull this off. But the truth is that these individuals are stuck inside their own private hell. They've been so focused on what you've been building this entire time that they forgot about building their own. They've been too hung up on the idea of you possibly getting to your destination, procrastinating and marinating in their own jealousy and envy. But this is a wake-up call for them. A lot of these people were given the same set of tools as you, and they chose to squander those tools. But that's not your problem. They chose their path, and you chose yours. And just because they're not satisfied with what they chose doesn't mean that you need to relinquish what you chose just to appease them. What do we have? The solar plexus, please. Queen of Swords, air energy at the solar plexus. Yeah, as soon as this card popped out, I heard you need to protect yourself at all costs right now. This Queen of Swords energy is telling me that they're going to try and weasel their way back in however they can, even if it means that they have to put on a mask. And the Queen of Swords is also an energy that is telling us you need to practice self-preservation right now. These are also the kinds of individuals that have no problem lying straight to your face about things if it means that they're going to gain something from it. This Fool, stacked with that Queen of Swords at that solar plexus, is an energy that is crashing out over what you are about to accomplish in your life. You haven't even gotten there yet, and they're already up in arms about it, like it should be them. It's like they can see your future before you even get there, which is very telling, right? It's like they see the trajectory of your life from the point you're at right now. They know that with your dedication and discipline to this path, they know exactly where you're going to get to. If anything, you can observe these energies for that, right? It's like they're telling your future based on the way they're responding to the trajectory of your path. What do we have at the heart, please, Spirit? Okay, 2 sides here. We're going to start here. Wow. 2 of Pentacles, Capricorn energy, and it says right there, laziness, right? So this really follows what I said about these individuals just being too focused on what you're building and not focusing on their own life. Somehow in their mind, they think that it would serve them more if they dragged you back down into the pit that you have crawled out of, instead of focusing on their own growth and path and quite possibly crawling out of the pit on their own. Right now, I'm seeing that scene from Batman where he climbs out of the pit, right? That's the kind of energy that I'm getting here, right? That's from the Dark Knight Rises. The energy coming off this reading is exactly like that. It's like that whole scene is a perfect representation of what a lot of you are going through. You had to crawl out of the pit to get here, and you're not going back. And you don't care how it makes anybody else feel, because you caring and going back into that pit isn't going to help get those people out of that pit any sooner. The best hope for them is for you standing your ground with that 7 of Wands, right? See, there's a whole flip side to that energy. It's like you stand true to yourself and your path forward. Maybe one day they'll get it, but folding to their demands or any of this pushback not only doesn't allow you to be the inspiration that you just might be in these individuals' lives. And then we have the 5 of Pentacles, Taurus energy at the heart. And there it is. This is you having crossed that bridge. Everything is just beginning to get progressively better. Everything that you felt in the core of you is very much coming to pass. And all of the things that these people said to you, all of this pushback was a lie, which is further exposing who these energies really were in your life. And again, it's not easy to accept all that. There's also an energy here that I'm picking up quite strong in regards to your finances getting better as a result of this entire situation here. It's like things are just beginning to sort themselves out. It's like saying that where you once had restriction or you felt blocked, energy beginning to push through those spaces now. If you're having some difficulties with finances, it's like opportunities or things just progressively get better. And it doesn't surprise me. This is what this sort of breakthrough leads to, right? It touches all sectors of your life. If you were in an energy of financial hardship, this is you coming out of it. It's really as simple as that. But it's obviously connected to some circumstances that are challenging to navigate. But this is what it takes to get there. But you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in that vision. The universe didn't give that to you for no reason. There's a reason why you feel that. There's a reason why you see that. There's a reason why, at your very core, you know that. What do we have at the throat, please, Spirit? Wow. Death card, Scorpio energy at the throat underneath that 6 of Wands in reverse. It says right there, endings and rebirth. Influences health and longevity. So this follows what we just said here perfectly, right? Because this is a full transformation that is touching multiple sectors of your life, if not all of them. That death card is the phoenix that rises up out of the ashes. That's what that energy represents. Death to this cycle and a rebirthing of you into the new. And see how it's right underneath that 6 of Wands in reverse at the throat, right? There's going to be a frightening realization that a lot of you have when you step into this new cycle. That 6 of Wands was them wanting you to give up. And almost all of you will think about it for a moment, right? Oh, maybe, right? It's just being human, right? You have that moment of self-doubt. But then this death card, which is you in the new cycle, is you having that realization like, oh my God, I can't believe I almost didn't see this through. There was these external factors and that little devil on my shoulder trying to tell me that it's not going to work out for me, but it was all a lie. It's like reaching the top of the mountain, looking down, saying, see, I told all of you I can make it here. And they're just standing there in disbelief like, And that imagery, I feel, really highlights what you get from these opposing energies once you get there, right? It's to say that they're silent. They don't have anything to say, which is further exposing who they are, because the decent thing to do would be to say, hey, you know what? I'm really sorry. I was wrong. You were right. I'm sorry I made things more difficult for you. But I don't get that here. I don't get any apologies, not honest ones anyway. If anything does come through, it's only because they're trying to weasel their way into your new beginning. So having said all that, there's no sincere apologies or no recognition of what it is you've accomplished here that is heartfelt in any manner whatsoever. This Six of Wands with this Death card is clear. This is, you're not going to pull that off. Just give up. And you saying, oh yeah? I just pulled it off. So now what? What do we have at the third eye, please, Spirit? The World, right underneath that Wheel of Fortune at the third eye. Now here we are. It says right there, Fountain of Wisdom, give success in all ventures. I just heard you are world building. And see, you're on approach to this Wheel of Fortune, right? And then this World card would be on the other side of that Wheel of Fortune. So this is you in this new timeline. Yeah, I just heard you're in a new world, right? This is a really great example of timeline jumping as well, which is something I always speak about in my readings, but we don't always get a very detailed blueprint of what that looks like. But this is it right here. It's more of a shift in how you interface with your reality. That's what timeline jumping is, right? You go from a timeline where you were succumbing to this pushback, let's just say, or not fulfilling your full potential, to a timeline where you are now pushing back against these energies and saying, no, this is what I'm doing. You step into this timeline and now you are interfacing with your full potential. That's an example of timeline jumping, okay? It's all how you move in your everyday waking life, how you interface with your reality, and it's all within the confidence that you decide in the very moment to harness to be able to step into this new beginning. There's a lot here for you, okay? For some of you, Star card and the World card, there's something here that you're making your way towards that is going to have some sort of a big impact. You know, the Star card is the energy of being in the spotlight. And then the World card, well, it's the world. And it's right underneath the Wheel of Fortune. I don't often speak about people doing things that would bring them certain levels of fame because I like to keep everything very grounded, right? You know if it makes sense with your path or not, but it really doesn't matter anyway, right? All that matters is you're getting to these destinations, okay? If it has some real world impact, great. For some of you, it could have a real world impact, but it's not loud, right? It's like it's beneath the surface. I quite often refer to this as creating domino effects. The universe positions you in a certain space. You say something to one other individual, and that individual takes it somewhere else. And there's these domino effects that start spreading throughout the collective based on something you said or a place that you went, right? You know, you can really run wild with your imaginations there on how far out the trajectory of these particular things can go. But that's what I'm picking up here, okay? All right, let's close this out. What do we have at the crown, please, Spirit? Wow, unbelievable. The Tower, Mars, Aries, Scorpio energy at the crown to close out the reading. And what a card to get after I just spoke about the trajectory of your influence. The Tower energy here is the wake-up call. This is a revelation. This is you bringing a destruction to some sort of false security in your life, going for these dreams, these visions, these true heart's desires. Taking a leap of faith with only the universe backing you up, which is obviously enough, overcoming horrendous pushback from those that you thought by default should have supported you and or loved you, to now allowing yourself to be positioned by the universe in a space where you make some sort of thunderous impact in the lives of others. We have the Death card, the World, and the Tower here. This is you not only pulling off what other people said you couldn't, Six of Wands in reverse, but this is you doing it in a way that's shocking. This is you stepping into this position of your life where you have to look at these other people like, how could you stop me from being where I'm at right now? Had I not have made it here, I might not have been able to do this, that, and the other and have this positive impact in this person's life and in this person's life, right? That's what I'm getting here now. We're sort of skirting on the edges of that, right? But when this tower came out, no, this is the real deal. There's a magnificent, very loud new beginning that a lot of you are going to have, and it's going to impact a lot of people, whether that's globally or in your community. There's something here, and I have nothing further to add. So with that, I will leave it here. All right, this is what I have for all of you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. If you took something useful from this reading, I hope you'll consider giving it a hype, as it will help get the video into the algorithm, and it's a great support for my channel. Now, there are a few different ways that you can go about supporting me if you like. I do have the membership section of my channel open. We just launched a second tier over there, which gives you a weekly video, and it's very reasonably priced, well worth the content. There's already a ton of content over there. So if that's something you're interested in, you can find the links down below. I also have my online store at PLUTOBEANstudio.com, and I'm still running a 15% off sale. I'm preparing to launch a new season of items in the next month or so. So get over there while I still have the sale going on and see if there's something you like. Everything over there are extensions of the creative output of my channel. I would also like to thank everybody who donates to my channel. Your donations are greatly appreciated, and they help keep my channel going and growing. Also, I do have some limited spots for personal readings open. All that information can be found down below. But in closing, I would like to know how this reading resonated with you. So drop me a heart and or a comment down below, and I'll speak to you again soon. Take care.